All right, so I'm gonna start trying to do some recordings here and maybe post them. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But something that's been weighing on my mind is the educational system and how we are manipulated and played by our educational system. Right. So you think about all the stuff that doesn't get taught and all of the stuff that does get forced down our throats. And now, granted, I'm 35. Like, I haven't been in school for a very long time, and I've been out of college for a while now. But like, I remember in school, you don't learn how to do certain things like taxes, and you don't learn how to invest or how to do, basic accounting and items like that. And I think there's obviously a reason for that. And yes, this is going to be the conspiracy theory and blah, 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 and I'm just another conspiracist, blah, blah, blah. But, that's the easiest way to keep you in your class, right? Like, if you're born into poverty, make sure that they stay in poverty. If you're born into middle class, make sure. And this is like the social structure. And it's weird because it's like this book I just finished reading, the Half the Red Rising series, and they have what's called colors, and everybody's born into their color, and you stay in your color, and that's it. Yeah, and I started thinking, I was like, man, that sounds really familiar. It's like we're always given just enough to kind of combat inflation and stuff like that, but you're never actually given enough to get out of it. And especially like to the poverty class and the folks on Section 8 and welfare and EBT and, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're brainwashed into thinking like, oh, well, I need to, vote blue, or I need to vote for this person because they're going to give us, more EBT or more. And it's like, have you ever noticed that they never give you enough to get out of the poverty? It's always just enough to stay right where you are, and I started thinking about it, and one of the other things is I think more of a man perspective is, we're trained to have this sense of patriotism, right? And I'm, for the record, I'm a Marine Corps combat veteran. I was in Afghanistan. We lost enough people, and I've seen enough people get killed, blah, blah, blah. And I started thinking, it was like, well, why? Right? Like, why did I join? Well, in 2001, I watched 9/11 happen. I was in 5th grade, I think. 5th or 6th grade. But I watched that happen. And I watched people jumping from the top of the Twin Towers because that was a better death than burning to death, or, the plane exploding or the collapsing. And they thought that that was the better way. And then the government, right, like Bush and everybody that followed, like, they played on this all the way until I was 18. And you got to serve your country and do your thing. Like, this is freaking stormtroopers. And, so then lo and behold, you get into high school, and next thing you know, you start seeing recruiters setting up, desks inside your public school system. And then it's like, oh yeah, and they just play on it. Don't you want to serve your nation? Don't you want to do this? Blah, blah, blah. And so I'm looking at all of this, right? And you combine it, and it's like, wow, they really do brainwash us into staying right where we're supposed to stay, where they want us to stay, the elites, the public elites, the government elites. And I was questioning with my therapist, because I've been in therapy for over a decade now, and I was questioning it, and it's like, what did I fight for? Because you start looking at this stuff, you look at the failed educational system, and there's absolutely no way to say it's anything less than a failure. And you look at the government conflict, now as we're going after Venezuela, man, is this not a shocker? We invaded Iraq because of weapons of mass destruction, which we never found any, and I was in the Middle East, so that was a lie. But they did have oil, and now we're going after Venezuela, and we're saying it's for the narco terrorists and drugs and blah 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 blah. And I'm not supposed to notice that, oh, they have the biggest oil deposit in the world. That's just a happy coincidence. We're not going after any of the other folks that have massive drugs, Mexico cartel, who are, funneling fentanyl and all of this stuff right into the border that's touching us. Nope, we go to a different continent and invade, and we steal their president. Like, that's unbelievable. And I started thinking, more about it, and it's like, that was a very expensive operation. The more covert something is, the more expensive it's going to be, because we have to do all sorts of stuff from the military perspective to stay off the radar, literally, and make sure that it's a surprise. You have to do all sorts of secrecy. And then the folks that went down there, they got, combat hazard pay and the fuel to send them down there and all kinds of stuff. It's a very expensive thing. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, at this point, I don't care. I don't care about other countries. Our country is failing. We have a horrible educational system. We have the most jank-ass healthcare system that, the world has ever seen. Nothing's covered. It's expensive as all hell. CEOs of, healthcare are getting offed in the streets because of how bad it is, and it's like, why are we spending this money elsewhere? And being in therapy for a decade, I've heard, the ever so cliche statement of you can't help others if you can't help yourself, blah, 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 and it's like, but it's true, right? And that's why it's cliche, because it's true. Like, why are we spending $1 billion to go and help Venezuela? Like, I'm sorry for those people. I'm glad, blah, blah, blah. But like, we got enough problems here. Spend that $1 billion. How are we spending $1 billion or, however much we're spending in another country, and then we're $35 trillion in debt? Like, and then you're going to lecture the millennial generation on, well, you took out the student loans. Well, yeah, because you boomers, baby boomers, and Gen Xers fucking told us to. Like, and now you're gonna lecture us while the government's $35 fucking trillion in debt, and you got the audacity to lecture us about fucking accounting, about, bills and responsibilities? Like, who the fuck are you? And you look into it and you're like, wow, there's like 170 some sovereign countries in the world, and the United States in some way, shape, or form sends money and assistance to over 170 of them. How the hell are we sending that much money? How? And then you have the audacity to come to me and say, well, we need to raise your taxes. Excuse me? What do you mean you need to raise my taxes? You got enough money to send to 90 some percent of the fucking world, and then you need me to pay more? I don't even think so, and I think that's kind of the biggest thing is like I said, because you look at all of this crap and everything that the government is doing and what they don't want you to know and what they don't want you to think, and it's like it's the same thing, and I'm going round and round here just trying to, because there's just so many things that go off, but we get told to trust the system that's completely failing, and it's been failing forever. We get told that we have to be sorted, essentially like this is fucking Harry Potter or some shit being sorted into our houses. Like, you have to be a Democrat or you have to be a fucking Republican. Both sides are fucked. I don't give a flying fuck. And I think it's hilarious because like you start digging at the surface and you start uncovering shit, and it's like, so you get the left who thinks that there should be, 20,000 fucking genders out there. And then you turn around and you have the right calling them out for having 20,000 genders. Meanwhile, they have 20,000 denominations of religion. Like, oh, I'm not supposed to notice how many different variants there are to fucking Christianity, and our president's sitting here fucking running his mouth and this is a nation under God. Like, personally, I'll just say, like, I'm truly sorry that you're fucking 60 some years old and you still have an imaginary friend in the fucking sky. Like, I'm sorry. Like, to me, that is just as mentally delusional as, you know, thinking you're a trans, right? Like you were born with a dick and then you chop it off because you feel like you should have been born a woman. That's no different to me than fucking thinking there's some sky wizard that is watching every single human being and damning us all to fucking hell. Like, you're both fucking crazy. That's all there is to that. So, like, and they force this onto us. Like, you have to be red, you have to be blue. We have a government system that won't allow an independent party to win. Like, you can't, you might be able to sneak a third party or independent in, you know, to House of Reps or maybe a senator. You'll never see a third party be a president. It just won't happen. It's not possible due to, you know, how the Electoral College is structured and due to our voting system. It's just not possible, right? Like, so we're always going to be stuck in the same fucking ideologies, and then, you know, we always switch back and forth, right? Like, you know, you get Obama in there for fucking 8 years, and then fucking Trump comes in, and what's Trump do? Well, he starts undoing whatever fucking Obama did. And then Biden gets in after Trump, and what's Biden do? Well, he starts undoing what fucking Trump did. And then now Trump's back in, and what's he doing? Undoing what Biden did. And it's just this fucking dumbass ping pong bullshit fucking game, all the while I'm paying, you know, 40 fucking % of my income to fucking taxes. Like, because they want to sit here and they want to fucking run their goddamn mouths and do all kinds of stupid ass fucking shit. Like, and we're just stuck. We're the peasants. Like, shut up, peasants. This is, you know, this is above you. Just go pick my fucking corn. And that's what we're fucking all doing, right? Just going about our day in and day out basis. You know, we get forced into thinking that we have to buy all these fucking crazy ass things. Then if you try to jump off the grid, you're fucking, you know, alienated, you're taxed, and you're fucking called out and all kinds of stupid shit, right? Like, because you tried breaking the system, you know, so they rein the herd in, and that's all they want to fucking do. So, you know, and it's like, I can't help, with all of that being said, like, I can't help question what I fought for. Like, you know, a garbage educational system that, you know, literally tells us that we are, you know, going to make it out and we're going to be able to live the fucking American dream and blah, 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 and, you know, whatever. But then at the same time, they create rules that keep us there. Like, you're not able. Oh, you got a nice raise. Guess what? Taxes went up. Oh, you finally bought a house and you're getting it all fixed up and blah, blah, blah. Hey, guess what? Property taxes gonna go up. Hey, we actually are gonna start requiring you to have an additional amount of insurance. And it's always just enough. So no matter if you get your standard 3% bullshit fucking raise from a company, nothing matters, because your insurance premiums are going to raise, your property taxes are going to raise, your everything that the government wants, and then they're going to fucking raise at a higher rate than what you got to raise in your company. So taxes and insurance and all of this shit are going to go up more than what fucking your raise is, you know? And people are sitting here like, oh, you know, we should be thankful because Trump's got inflation down and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's still inflation. It's still fucking up. It's still screwing me over while we're still sending fucking money to other people. And, you know, and then I'm supposed to just sit here and, oh, you should be thankful, like this is a fucking boomer ass fucking narcissistic parent or some stupid ass shit. Like, you know, I'm supposed to be thankful for all of this shit. Like, I didn't fucking ask for this shit. I didn't ask to fucking be handed this plate of crap from our previous generations. And I think that's the biggest problem, is like, they say the millennials are the most ungrateful generation. And it's like, no, we're just the generation that stops wanting to eat crap. Like, we realize you put a hunking, steaming pile of shit on our plate and want us to eat it, and we push the plate away. Like, we don't want it, right? Like, and I think that's the bigger portion. And we're opening our eyes, you know, and they don't like that, right? Like, the government doesn't like that. Look at fucking Trump. You know, he ran. They're calling out, as a sidebar here, they're calling out this new mayor for New York City, right? Like, they're calling him out because he ran on this fucking premise of free public transportation. It's gonna be free. And then, like, what, not even a week into his fucking thing, he actually does the opposite and increases the cost of the public transportation. Like, that's fucking hilarious, right? And then the right and the Trump tards are calling them out for running on this premise. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, Trump ran on the fucking premise of the Epstein files, right? Like, where the fuck are those? And instead, we're getting these little redacted fucking pieces of paper that have been highlighted with a ultra dark, ultra permanent triple XL fucking Sharpie that shows absolutely nothing of fucking value, right? They release a very few certain pictures, which we already knew those fucking pictures. We're looking for the rest of them. Where the fuck is this list at? You know, and then all of a sudden, like, all this, the FBI director and National Intelligence and all these motherfuckers who ran on that premise of, we're gonna release it, we're gonna give the fucking people, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. So it's like, and we're all sitting here playing the fucking game, right? Like, the left is like, no, I hate the right because the left tells me to hate the right. And the right's like, no, I need to hate the left because the right tells me to hate the left. And it's this stupid fucking game. Stupid fucking game. And people just don't even fucking think it because we just live here in the fucking self-made matrix, you know, and it's asinine to me because we keep playing the fucking game instead of just coming together, instead of opening our fucking eyes as a population and just saying, we're fucking done with the games. This is what we do, right? Like, and we don't even, like, a lot of people don't even know, like, how bad it is, right? Like, they don't even look into it. They just take everything at face value. Oh, you know, Trump tard is going to watch Fox. That's all they're going to watch. They're not going to watch any other fucking news station. It's Fox. That's what TV turns on to. That's what it stays on. Blah, blah, blah. The left or the liberals, they're going to watch CNN. That's all they're going to fucking do. And then that's all they're going to believe is however that specific news organization spun it, right? And then you don't look at who is funding that. Like, you guys think that you're made to believe that these shows are funded via commercials and stuff. No, there's high-end contributors on the back end that are paying them, right? And with that, like, I want to point out one massive thing that I just actually learned very recently. You know, lobbyists, that's something. Now, private entity is not allowed to directly, you know, fund our government, and they can make donations and et cetera, but they can't directly fund it. What they can do, however, is through charitable organizations, nonprofits, and blah, 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 they can fund lobbyists. And so I actually just found this out was the reason for duration of maternity leave in the United States. This one is unfucking believable. So you look at this, and the people behind the duration of maternity leave, they're not doctors, they're not scientists, they're not anything like that. It's fucking formula companies. Formula, Infomil, Nestle, Parent Choice, and stuff like this. And if anybody's still watching this and is actually listening to my, you know, ungodly long rant here, like, you have to think about it. So I'm not a woman, obviously, but my wife is. And when she had our daughter, she had to go back to work because maternity leave was over. So now she has to go and do this awkward thing of pumping. And she tried doing the best she could, but, it's like where she worked didn't have a dedicated pumping room, so she didn't have isolation, so she had to, like, go into the break room and put a fucking blanket over her and all kinds of shit, and it's awkward, it's inconvenient. If they give you 15 minutes to fucking pump, then it takes you 10 minutes to set up and all kinds of shit. So women will stop pumping and they'll switch to formula. So these big formula companies are actually paying lobbyists to go in and keep us from increasing the duration of maternity leave. Not because it stops fucking production at companies, not because of the woman's health or anything like that. It's because the faster a woman stops fucking pumping, the faster they start buying fucking formula. It's good for fucking business. And that's what it is. And then you see like the fake ass fucking, constructed shortages, right? Like, and then all of a sudden you see all this shit fucking jump up in price. Yeah, it's 100% because it's good for business. They don't give a fuck about the women, and that's both sides. You follow the money trail. Follow the fucking money trail. That's all you gotta do. And you will see that these sons of bitches on both sides are doing this because they're friends, Like your politicians are in tight, Nestle might go and buy them something, or Infamil or Parents' Choice or blah, blah, blah. They might go buy these fucking people stuff. So they do this shit, and they're doing it right under our nose. That's what they're doing. So if you ever question, if you're a woman and you watch this, and you ever question why your maternity leave in the United States is so short, that's why. If you ever question why your educational system didn't teach you taxes, or why they didn't teach you investing, how to fill out a W-4 properly, how to, set up a retirement and explain the differences between, 401ks and pensions and all kinds of stuff like that, it's because they want you dumb. Because the longer you're dumb, the more likely you are to go to Fox or CNN, or the more likely you're to listen to some dumbass boomer and just keep going with the flow. So I'll jump back into this and after I post it and I figure out how to do all of that stuff. But I think that covered quite a bit. So thanks.